Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Graveyard Guys podcast. It's me, Mikey,
Wes.
and if things look a little different, it's because we are recording separately because one of my kids is sick and I couldn't make it up to Austin today. Yeah, don't have kids. Um, but don't worry, next week we'll be back in the studio together to make fun and put down each other as always.
For real.
It's also super early, which I also feel is why I feel puffy and gross and I look all bleh.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's just how you look,
Nope,
but
usually not. Usually I am smoking. I also have just been binge eating, which is probably another reason why I feel like shit, but it's been
yeah,
a
yeah,
stressful time.
I'm so funny.
What'd you say?
I said, yeah, I can see that when you said I've been
Oh,
binge eating,
yeah,
but
it's
I'm
so funny.
kidding. I'm kidding, Mikey. I'm just kidding.
Anywho, so again, sorry, it's gonna be a little bit of a not so up close and personal show this time, but we'll be back to normal next week. But this week, we have the letter H.
Hearts.
Oh, actually, before we start, there's a strange video I wanted to talk about real quick. I was browsing around the internet looking for some spooky news, and I saw on the subreddit unexplained something that can't be explained. So
Uh-oh.
it's a video. I'm gonna read what the poster said, but it's basically a video of strange handprint on a window, which you wouldn't really think anything of. My boyfriend sent me this video from our living room while I was in bed. It freaked me out. At first, I thought he was pulling a prank on me, but I went out to the living room and it turns out he wasn't. The handprint is bigger than his and is on the outside of our apartment balcony door. The sliding door also moves from left of this video to the right, so it doesn't make sense on why the handprint is faced that way or why it's in that spot. We have been in this apartment since January. I've never seen this print or anything like it before. I'm home all day and no one has entered the apartment before that would do this. Our only possible explanation is maybe it's an old handprint that showed up now due to high humidity, but it's still super strange that it has just now only appeared. And what makes this even stranger is that these people are on the third floor. So it's not like anybody can just go up there and go. Meh. And also the handprint has like kind of sharp looking fingers, which is kind of strange. But obviously, if you go to the comments, everybody's like, "Meh, it's the window cleaner," blah, blah, blah. But when I lived in apartments, you don't have window cleaners.
When I'm bored, I like to write words on like the windows or like if there's condensation. And one time I wrote on the elevator, kill with, and then I drew a knife. And then Brian saw it when he went into the elevator. He was like, somebody wrote kill on the elevator. I was like, oh, that's me. But
Wow.
yeah.
Well, anyways, I just thought that was creepy. If that would have happened to me, I would have made it like into this big old thing. So
Oh yeah, you had like a 12 part like TikTok series about it already. So
exactly. I have the letter H today. This is might feel a little strange because I feel a little off because it's in the morning and we're not in person to be able to make fun of each other. So I apologize. Now, I have the Texas city.
yes, you do.
I have the Texas city, and I kind of teased it last episode when we did the American monsters that this is going to relate to the next episode, and it does. And my Texas city is not a famous one. I have to look up what it's called again.
Yeah.
Hebbronville, Hebbronville, Texas. It's in South Texas. And this is where I mentioned in the last episode that people have been seeing little dinosaurs. Um, there's two letters that I have, and then this is coming from truehorrorstoriesoftexas.com. So obviously it's true.
It has to be true, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the first letter. A couple of months ago in summer, my friend actually saw a small dinosaur here in town on the main street. It was evening when she saw it, probably around 8:45 p.m. She was driving and noticed the dinosaur cross the street. She saw the shape clearly as it passed another car headlight on the opposite side. She said oddly that the other car didn't seem to notice as the creature passed. She tried to call me, but her phone was out of minutes. I guess that was a long time ago.
Those are
Just
good units.
I know. It was not nights and weekends yet. Just a couple months before, I had actually heard a creature I could only describe as a dinosaur. I had been asleep. It was night, maybe around 1 or 2 a.m. I had awoken, and just at the moment, I heard an unfamiliar screech of something running by my window. We have an AC unit in the window, so the window is basically open. I heard its footsteps as it ran by, and it was heavy, whatever it was. I could hear it clearly on the ground. As it ran further away, I could hear it screech again. It was like nothing I've ever heard in my life. It was loud too, and I wonder if anyone else heard or saw it. I live in an apartment complex. I just laid there in bed, completely bewildered by what I had just heard. I questioned my sanity and if I had heard what I thought I heard. So when my friend saw the dinosaur, she was excited and wanted to tell me because of what I heard. I'm only sad I didn't get to see it too. We both questioned our sanity. These stories you posted helped me feel better, not so crazy. So, that is from MR from Hebbronville, Texas. Now, the most recent one. I wonder if this is dated. I don't think this is dated. Anyways, so the most recent one is Hello. I noticed your article about small dinosaurs in Hebbronville, Texas. This witness was not exaggerating because I have seen an unknown animal in a field here in Hebbronville. It was April 2011. There you go, a long time ago. And I was walking along W. David Street to my friend's house on Randanda Road. It was about 5:45 p.m. I'd just gotten off of work. On the side of the road where I was walking, I saw dust being kicked up into the air and moving along the field. Then the trail of dust was heading toward the road in front of me. I stopped walking, not knowing what may be exiting at the road. About 40 feet in front of me was what I can only describe as a little T Rex dinosaur, about 2 to 2.5 feet in height. It didn't stop running as it dashed across the road into a smaller field. It was light reddish brown, stood on two legs, and had a long tail that was straight out as it ran. There is no way that this was a lizard known to live here. It looked very much like the photo of the toy I found online. And they posted a picture of a little T Rex toy. No one wanted to believe me. My friends and family think I mistook it for another lizard, but I know what I saw. Until I read your article, I thought I may be going crazy. I do believe there are very strange creatures around here. My ex husband used to talk about huge birds and walking shadows that he and others would see on a ranch south of Hebbronville. At one point, several cattle would go missing without a trace. He would never stay there at night. Thank you for reading. You can contact me. So, technically, that's three different accounts because the first story had two. We talked about this briefly earlier, and I would love for this to be true. And I think I've heard something similar in Florida. There's something called the South Florida Raptors or something like that. Um, and there's like reports of people seeing like little miniature dinosaurs. Have we been able to bring them back a la Jurassic Park, but keep them miniature scale? Maybe. And actually, I'm reading Jurassic Park for the first time, and that's in the book where they actually make them tiny. For like pets and stuff. But anyways, neither here nor there. The only kind of like maybe it's this that I could kind of see, but not really, is I've been hearing people say that they're escaped kangaroos. And from a distance, kangaroos are reddish brown, they stand on 2 feet, they have little hands, but they don't run, they hop. And kangaroos are not 2.5 to 2 feet tall. They're very tall. So it's very interesting. And I would like to go see what this is all about and go find a dinosaur.
I have a theory.
Give it to us.
Okay. I think it is a deformed dog with mange.
You know what? You're right. We'll go ahead and just move on. Case closed.
What, you know what? You don't want to hear what I have to say?
How is it a deformed dog with mange?
Yeah. Well, like it, you know how like there are dogs that don't have their front legs?
Mm-hmm.
So, or their legs are like really tiny, so they have to walk on two legs.
No, they
That's how
don't.
they, you know what I mean?
No,
But like, and then if it has mange, then it's kind of like, its skin is fucked up and shit. So, and it could be like a red dog. I have no clue. I'm just talking out of my ass, by
I
the way.
know because the dogs that only have two legs usually have a wheelchair.
I mean, I've seen them where they're kind of like, like when they're
Yeah,
walking, they're
but
like,
not for a long distance.
I guess not for a long time, but like that probably the worst theory out there.
Yeah, I mean,
But
there's
I
probably
mean,
people that are like, it's an owl, like we said last time, everything's an owl.
yeah, just say it's an owl and move on. But yeah.
Maybe a road runner,
You know,
but I don't know.
I'm trying to think what else could like make the shape of that kind of like dinosaur kind of.
But
Um,
it's also strange because it's like I get a little bit of conflicting information with the size because it's like, okay, it's 2 feet to 2.5 feet. Okay, that's cool. But then the first person's like, you could tell this thing was heavy. Well, how heavy can it be if it's 2.5 feet? Like, I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe I'm overthinking it.
and like they didn't describe, was it like a scaly? I mean, they just said dinosaur, but I don't know if it was dinosaur by shape or dinosaur by like texture. I need to know like the flavors. I need to know like how does it feel? What does it feel like? That's literally the same question. I don't know why I said that.
Okay.
Uh, well, what size teeth did they have? Did they have claws? Did they have a beak?
I think
I don't know.
they're hoping that you just think of the T-Rex from Jurassic Park and plugging that
Yeah.
in.
I'm just asking all the wrong questions. That's what I'm here for, is to ask the wrong questions so that we can get the right questions.
Exactly. And I appreciate that. And that's what my favorite quality of yours is.
Is
Um,
wrong 24/7.
but you know what? This might just be another place we put on our Graveyard Guys podcast adventure list to go visit and figure out where the dinosaurs are.
You really turn all of the little towns and cities that we've covered so far into a little road trip.
Hmm.
That sounds Some of them it sounds really lame. No offense.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's gonna make a pentagram like those graveyards.
Yeah, it's like the Flatonia. No offense to Flatonia, does not sound interesting to me. No offense. I said no offense, so you can't be offended. But
Yeah.
Flatonia does not sound. And this one, Hebbronville, does not sound interesting enough for me to want to visit. So
Okay. Well, there you go. Poo-poo on the idea. But
I'll go. I'll go. Don't get me
no,
wrong.
that's
I'll go.
fine.
But am I
Wesley,
going to enjoy myself? No. Do they have a gay club? No.
do you
I'm
ever
not
enjoy
going.
yourself anywhere? Anyways. Um,
Oh
but
shit.
please and thrill us with your entry to today's submission.
Okay, so today we're being submissive. I mean, today we're submitting something. Today I have a submission. So I'm going to be talking about the night marchers in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Ooh, Slay
Oh,
Diva.
yes, I'm going to give a little bit of like history on Hawaii, just a little bit, hopefully a little bit. I did write a lot actually. Now that I'm looking at my notes, I did write a lot on the history of Hawaii. I'll try to jump around so that it's not too long. Okay? Is
Okay.
that okay? Is that okay with you, Mikey? Mikey? Is that
Okay,
okay?
Boots Slay.
Okay, Mama. Let's go. Boots the house down. Slay Queen. So, if you don't know this about Hawaii, it was overthrown and annexed through a combination of political manipulation and economic interests, specifically with American business owners, with U.S. military support. So this was an illegal overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy in 1893, which eventually led to the annexation of Hawaii in 1898. So basically, Hawaii started as an official sovereign nation in 1810. That's basically when they're like, "Oh, we're a nation." they've obviously existed before that, but this is when they became official in the eyes of like international law. They made trade deals with multiple countries, but the U.S. said, "I don't like tariffs." Hmm.
We do now.
The no tariffs. It's actually very relevant to today with the tariffs and everything. But in 1891, the Queen, oh God, I don't know. The pronunciations in all of this is not going to be correct. My apologies ahead of time. But Liliuokalani, whatever, the
Perfect.
Queen gained power and created a constitution to reduce the U.S. control. There was a committee of safety that hated this, and they were made mostly of businessmen in America. And in that same year, the US government led a coup, basically insinuating that they wanted to protect the American property. So they're like, I want to protect American property because the Queen wants to reduce the control of Hawaii from the US. So the Queen didn't want any conflict. So she surrendered. She trusted the American government and was like, they're going to make this right. So they established a provisional government that did not listen to the president at the time. It was Grover Cleveland. Cleveland literally said, "This is illegal. Like what you're doing is illegal." Did he do anything to stop it? No. He literally was like, "This is illegal. Stop it, guys." But then, like, let
But
it
you at the
happen.
club.
Yeah, literally, like, oh, stop.
Oh no, please, I don't like that. Please stop
Oh,
it.
yeah, keep
Stop.
going.
Yeah.
Like very much that. And he condemned it, but he didn't do anything about it. And so they basically had control over Hawaii. Oh no, he's walking away. They had control over Hawaii. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I
I,
had to get a tissue to blow my nose, but go ahead.
I saw you walking away and I was like, no, I can't keep going.
This story's boring. I'm just
You're
kidding.
like, what the shit? At least this fall. Then when William McKinley became president, they continued with the annexation efforts. So they used the Spanish-American War as justification, specifically because of the location of Hawaii in the Pacific Ocean. So they annexed Hawaii in 1898. So Hawaii became a U.S. territory in the 1900s. The president of Hawaii was Sanford B. Dole, who is the cousin of James Dole, who is the creator of the Dole Food Company. Wow, the fruit people. They sell like bananas and
Yeah,
pineapples.
that's the first thing I thought of when you said that, and then I was like, I guess that kind of makes sense because I always see like on the
Yeah,
canned pineapple.
yeah. It's that company was basically built off of what is it called? Colonization. Anyways, and then Hawaii became a state in 1959 officially.
Hmm.
So that's a little bit of backstory. I feel like that was longer than I thought I was going to make it, but that's basically how Hawaii is the way it is today. And I
Why
was
she
looking
is
at
the woman that she is today.
why she is the woman, why she is here as a state in the United States,
A
whether they
controversial state.
controversially, yes, whether they want to be a state or not. I heard a lot of Hawaiians actually do not want to be a state. But that's an ongoing effort, and that is something that I don't know if I should have an opinion on. I'm just gonna be over here on my little podcast. Anyways, so I'm talking about the night marchers, which are known as this is gonna be pronounced so wrong. Huacaipo or the Oyo. These are the night marchers, the spirit ranks of the ancient warrior chiefs that roam the island at night. So they march in full battle regalia. So they have torches and drums and torches. They have drones, like those
Drones,
little like
they're very new age.
Yeah, like these little remotes moving these drones around. No, they have torches and drums and conch shell calls, and they levitate over ground and water when they walk, and they don't leave footprints. But when they appear in Hawaii is during the lunar phases, like Po Kane and Po Aqua.
So they're kind of, it seems kind of like they're like spirits of like generals or like leaders of Hawaii, right?
Yeah, yeah. They're like spirits of chiefs and warriors in Hawaii that okay, so Aqua is the 14th night of the full moon on the Hawaiian lunar month. And it is considered the second night when the moon's circular form is evident. Cool. Okay, so it just depends on the month. The month and the moon phase that it's in. And there are reports of it uh, that I have some links to that I have. So when you see them, um, you have to there's like certain things that you have to do in order to not get killed by them pretty much because if you get caught by the night marchers then they will drag you with them.
Oh, wow.
They'll be like snatch you right off your shoes and take you straight down to where they're from. So there are audible cues. You can start drumming. You know, oh, sorry. No, this is like the sounds that they make whenever they enter is like the drumming. I was basically rereading my notes. But basically they drum and the conch shell and then they march and so those are the sounds that you hear whenever it happens. And then there's like a foul death like odor, a heavy breeze, columns of mist, sulfuric air, which we've talked about. The smell of sulfur, smell of death.
Hell. Blech.
Yeah, hell. But if you hear or see them, then run away if it's not too late. But if it is too late, then you have to avoid eye contact, face down, ass up, face down. You have to like immediately jump to the ground, stay silent, and keep your eyes shut. Do not look at them and just on the ground. But another one, I'm pretty sure this sounds like something that they would make up to, make fun of like locals. Like if you see a night marcher, then you have to strip naked and roll around on the ground and pee on yourself. Um, so that sounds like an urban legend. Like, oh, you have to get naked and pee on yourself, haha. Because like like the Blarney Stone in Ireland, a lot of tourists go there to kiss it in order to get the gift of gab. Guilty. I did do that when I was in Ireland in 2018. Shout out. But that you're supposed to kiss the Blarney Stone to get the gift of smooth talking, pretty much.
Ooh. Yeah, you definitely kissed that one.
Oh fuck! I fucking French kissed it.
Mm,
But
I blew
like,
it. I'm just kidding.
oh, why don't you come over here and Blarney my stone sometime?
I ate it
But
out.
right, I was like, but I heard that a lot of locals actually go and pee on it to like because they're like fuck the tourists and then they just like pee on the Blarney Stone. Just what I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but I could see it, and that's what that reminded me of. Another way to get out of it is if an ancestor recognizes you. So if we went there and we saw them, an ancestor would not recognize us because we don't have ancestors in Hawaii.
You don't know me.
But
I'm
I
brown.
don't know. Do you have ancestors in Hawaii?
No.
Okay, then. But if an ancestor recognizes you, they will call out Nau, which means mine, and then you're spared. But I mean, that's only if you have ancestors there. If not, then. So cultural context. So sacred chiefs' body parts were considered kapu, which is forbidden. It's sort of like haram, like you can't, they have like little rules.
Yeah.
But they were kapu, which is forbidden to mortals. So seeing them led to death. Um, through like scorching beams through the warrior's eyes, like lasers. I'm kidding. I don't know if it's like
Oh my
lasers,
God.
but that's what I imagine. They shoot laser beams at you. No, here are some other things that are kapu, just like in the language or in the culture. Not being in the chief's presence with one's head higher than theirs, not coming into contact with their hair or fingernails, not looking directly at them, wearing red or yellow feathers. It's considered a symbol of royalty. And if you're not the highest rank, you can't wear them. And commoners were even at risk of death if their shadow fell on a chief's or on their home.
Ew.
So you have to be very mindful about like where your shadow was at. Because if your shadows overlap, then it's like, you
Yeah,
know,
it's gay sex. Um, so Hawaiians aren't as chill as I thought they were.
what was that?
Hawaiians aren't as chill as I thought they were.
No, not their little kaboom. I don't know what I was trying to say. Okay, yeah, there is a like a tourist site called the Mysteries of Hawaii, and they run a uh, Waikiki night marcher focused ghost walk based in Capio Cap Kapiolani Park. So they have like basically it's like a guided tour of the ghost marches, or sorry, the night marchers in Waikiki. But TripAdvisor sightings confirm tours still operate as of 2020.
Has there been
So
any reported sightings of this march?
yeah, there are a couple of reported sightings. So visitors by Nu'uanu Pali heard drums and they saw lights. And a lot of the locals rushed to their cars. That dog was taking a shit. Rushed to their cars and fled before they could even like consider looking at the night marchers. Um, Diamond Head Torch. Multiple tourists were called convoys of red lights climbing over Crater Rim from Kapiolani Park, the one that we were talking about that has the tours. Um, Davies Pacific Center on Bishop Street, security cameras allegedly caught missed procession. Night shift cleaner died the next day, so possibly joined the march. So there is a basically there security cameras possibly caught a procession on camera, and then the night shift cleaner who saw it ended up dying. I just repeated my sentence. I wasn't sure if it was clear or not, but yeah. Anyways, there have been reported sightings, and it has been mentioned in like popular culture. One of which was, did you ever watch that Lilo and Stitch TV show?
Hmm.
So I believe it's the episode where that one alien who like screams really loud. I cannot remember its name, but they thought that that alien was the Night Marchers.
Oh, pop
Yeah,
culture reference. We love to see it.
yeah, pop culture. We love pop culture. Yes, God. Anyways, we can go ahead and wrap up my section. Did we have a cryptid?
Okay, Hellhound. The hellhound is a supernatural canine found in folklore, sometimes known as black dogs. A wide variety of ominous or hellish supernatural dogs occur in mythologies around the world, similar to the ubiquitous dragon. Features that have been attributed to hellhounds include black fur, glowing red eyes, and sometimes glowing yellow eyes, super strength, speed, ghostly, and even phantom characteristics, foul odor, and sometimes even the ability to talk. Oh, Wesley, is this you? There is a famous Greek hellhound named Cerberus. Now, I don't know if this is considered a cryptid because I don't know if there's. I've heard of sightings of black dogs, um, but when I think of hellhounds, I think of Cerberus, which to me doesn't really seem like a cryptid. Seems more like mythology, but whatever. That is today's cryptid.
Yeah, and I've heard that hellhounds or black dogs. I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of overlap. They usually show up as like a sign of an omen, sign of death.
Yeah.
Um,
There's actually a indie horror movie that just came out called Black Dogs, I think. It's kind of about that. But yeah, basically if the dog is black and paranormal, I guess it's a hellhound. But with that, that's going to wrap up today's episode of The Graveyard, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry it was a little weird. Sorry the audio quality may not be the best because we're just all over the place, but we'll be back next week in typical fashion. So, with
oh
all that
yeah,
said, Graveyard out, bitches.
graveyard out, bitches.